sisters and my friends in the St. Pius X Society, those affiliated, and even those that are firmly adhering. You know, it's sad because of the leadership. I'd like to think about the leadership. I mean, the Superior General has got a lot to answer for. I think it's ludicrous to have a self-created papal mandate. Do you have a papal mandate or apostolic mandate? That was during the ceremony, of course, and out comes a scroll. And I started laughing because the whole world knows you don't have the Pope's mandate and to ordain and consecrate bishops. And so in that sense it's ludicrous. It's also ludicrous in the sense of hundreds of thousands of people are affected by the choice of one man. And the priest himself hasn't been a priest much longer than I have. Goodness. Then we consider how that sort of leadership is implying that Pope Leo has some malicious intent. Far from malicious intent, he actually complimented the Society of St. Pius X and mentioned 4 things. I can remember some of them. One was priestly formation, another was traditional teaching, and another was traditional liturgical worship, which a lot of people have found helpful. Now the 4th one I can't remember right now. However, I think it's great. Anyone with any leader can see he was paving the way for ongoing work in the church under the Pope for the Society of St. Pius X. How bad and ludicrous it is then to have a leader like the Superior General. I think if I was in the Society of St. Pius X, I'd be usurping that authority, that false authority, be creating a groundswell of the hundreds of thousands of lay people, as well as petitioning the bishops that are consecrated to go to the Pope, to seek your involvement in the Catholic Church under his authority, to continue the fight against modernism. If you need to hear it from a priest in good standing, yes, the Second Vatican Council was of God, legitimate, and it was also the occasion for modernism to be injected into the mystical body of Christ like some poison. And the consequences are huge. I see it probably more than most, but so be it. I follow St. John Paul II's interpretation of the Second Vatican Council, and he answered every question if we take the time to read it. And then the other popes since then, I read in that continuity of the faith. No need for rupture and discontinuity. Any case, I still think the Society of St. Pius X has a plan in God, God's divine will. So keep up the fight against modernism, but under the Pope's authority. For goodness sake, stir up you great people who are all the lay people, hundreds of thousands of them. And why not make a groundswell? Why not petition those consecrated bishops and go to the Pope? Usurp every authority that doesn't want that. And then make sure that the Society of St. Pius X has a contribution, makes a contribution in God's will under the legitimate authority of Pope Leo. Now, I better continue to attend to those entrusted to my care, especially Brother Louis over there, the soul retriever.